thank you for joining the first Josoor HIWAR on behalf of AFRA. As the year comes to a close, here are a few considerations. First, in 2020, Josoor Institute continued to deliver in its strategic role of education and training arm of the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy. It goes without saying, 2020 has been a year like no other, with COVID-19 pandemic disrupting activities for everyone. At the same time, though, for many organizations, the pandemic accelerated strategic developments that were already in the making. In the case of Josoor, online delivery was in the strategy, and this year it has become the norm. We're glad that Josoor and its academic partner, SDA Bocconi School of Management, managed to deliver the flagship professional diploma programs in sports management and major events management online and first in class. That was not obvious because fast decisions always bear risks, but the positive feedback from the delegate surveys testifies not stopping the program was the best decision. Most importantly, we would like to praise the resilience and capacity of Josoor's delegates to learn and adapt to the new delivery model. And let us also remind you that the applications for the new edition of the diploma programs starting in February 2021 are now open, and you will be able to find more information at josoorinstitute.qa. It is also great to see that Josoor is one of the most active organizations in Qatar with online activities, having started a still ongoing series of online sessions back in the spring, and that has become a norm for us and the new platform for us. So HIWAR today is an achievement for us in that respect. This HIWAR, which we like to think will become a regular get-together for Josoor and its community, shows online delivery is now part of Josoor DNA. No matter, we really look forward to host the Josoor community again in a physical space in the coming months, as soon as the situation will have improved. Last but not least, a few words on the way forward for Josoor. The next 2 years are key for all of us. Josoor's ambition is twofold. On one hand, we will continue to deliver education and training to build capacity of key groups in the run-up to the FIFA World Cup 2022. On the other hand, we will develop and deliver blended educational offering in sports and events and hospitality management for a greater audience in Qatar, the MENA region and beyond. That in turn will be key for Josoor to generate revenues towards becoming an independent legacy organization after the tournament. Again, on behalf of AFRA, thank you very much for having joined Josoor HIWAR and for any feedback you may wish to share with our team. So these were AFRA's welcoming remark, and let me share a short presentation that we have prepared. Let me start by sharing a general introduction about Josoor. As some of you know, Josoor started in 2013 as a division of the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy with the vision of forming a generation of pioneers in sports and events, and to contribute to delivering a superb FIFA World Cup 2022 by means of building a human capital for Qatar and the region at large. If we were to synthesize the strategic objectives of Josoor Institute, the first is to become the reference, the regionally recognized provider of world-class professional education, training, research, and knowledge management in sports and events. Second, to contribute to the successful delivery of the FIFA World Cup 2022 by developing talent. And third, and long-term, contribute to the diversification of Qatar's economy by advancing human and economic development in sports and events for the FIFA World Cup 2022 and beyond. Our strategic offering is focusing on two key deliverables: education and training. Education, which includes the diploma program in sports and events management, and other bespoke deliverables. and training, which includes volunteers training, bespoke trainings, and other trainings for workforce in the run-up to the World Cup. And then there is a research component on which Josoor has been working over the past few years to build knowledge and information on the events and the sports industries in the MENA region as a way to support production of content which is focusing on local developments. Clearly, the largest share of the industry is in other parts of the world, but because of the World Cup and because of many other events, the industry of events and sports in the MENA region is really picking up, and therefore there is an opportunity to produce research on it. And last but not least, as part of research and more in general knowledge management, we are working on a platform for all Josoor knowledge to be shared with the broader public. In terms of key achievements of Josoor Institute, first I just wanted to check if Vasco is in the call.
Sure. Hi guys.
Hi Vasco, thank you for joining. Would you like to go through the achievements?
Yes, of course. First of all, thank you for everyone for being here. It has been a great day since the morning. I'll just jump right into the key achievements. So, as you can see in front of you, we have the pleasure of having since the inception of Josoor, over 4,000 participants in the form of students, delegates, executives who have been to so many different programs, all coming from different nationalities, over 100 to be specific. And of course, all this has been accompanied with an esteemed lineup of guest speakers, subject matter experts from the leading sports and events industries. Part of our larger program, which is the professional diploma, we have had over 300 graduates from 3 cohorts of our diploma programs, specifically in sports management and major events management. Just in parentheses, the applications for our new cohort 5 is already open, and the cohort will start with its block 1 in February of 2021. In addition to our diploma programs, we do have professional development workshops from a series of topics, from events management to protocol to safety, security, and these professional development workshops vary from 1 day to 2 days to 3 days up to a week. Of course, we launched almost a year and a half ago a MOOC, massive online open course, specifically on sustainability and major sports events. And then now our focus, as we move towards the big date, the big event, there are many areas, including volunteers, including workforce. So these trainings, and Josoor Institute is massively being part of these trainings, specifically events which are happening from now on till the end of this year, meaning Emir Cup, and then from next year, the Club World Cup in February, and any kind of event which is an activation of all these trainings and the practicalities that need to be, focused on, and the pleasure of having all these trainees to have that practicality in the stadiums, within the vicinity of the stadium, or even inside the stadium. Josoor also really relies and takes into consideration bespoke programs, meaning tailor-made programs according to requirements coming from different federations. Recently, the past year, Uzbekistan Football Federation, the China Football Federation had an observation program during the Club World Cup of 2019, last year. And recently, in the past few months, we had the pleasure also of delivering alongside QFA to the Asian Football Federation a series of webinars which happened a month ago and is going to continue in the next year over every quarter. Josoor Institute also had the pleasure to be part of an observation program from the Russia 2018 World Cup. I was also responsible and involved. I had the pleasure to be part of that observation team. So as you can see, a lot of integration is happening amongst the FIFA World Cup, the Supreme Committee, and Josoor. And last but not least, due to the pandemic and COVID-19, a lot of transitions have happened in the digital world, specifically on webinars, and we really have seen this transition to be a successful one. We are proud that we took it upon ourselves to already take this change, and now we're happy that we're doing so many stuff, continuing our operation, continuing our trainings, continuing our development in this matter. Michele?
Thank you very much, Vasco. The following slide focuses a little bit more in detail on the professional diploma program. Vasco, would you like to share some comments on that?
Yes. So to just have a more focus on the professional diploma program. So there are two strands happening in the same time in any diploma program. We have a branch in sports management. Excuse me. And then we have the second branch in major events management. So these programs are on a one-year base. They are divided into 6 blocks. Each block is delivered on a 5-day basis. So if you do the math, 6 times 5, 30 days in total throughout any academic year or throughout any cohort, we name it. So our next cohort, which is cohort 5, is going to start in February 14, first block. And it's going to continue towards the end till December 2021. That would be a cohort. And these programs are designed around the skill set, the knowledge, and of course, they are developed in partnership with prestigious universities. At this moment, Bocconi School of Management, SDA Bocconi, based in Milan, we are happy to partner them with, and the professors, the academic, the content, and the delivery of all these programs, of both programs, sports management and major events management, are delivered by professors from the Bocconi University. This year, in 2020, there was a transition between Block 1, which was delivered physically, and then that physical block was delivered in January of 2020. And of course, due to the pandemic, there was a massive change, and we still continued. We were adamant to pursue and take the kind of nature of the delivery and transfer it into a pure virtual 100% delivery, which was very successful in terms of attendance, in terms of integration, in terms of actually really engagement with the delegates, with the students of the programs. And just to mention that we had over 75 students who were from the program, who never actually skipped a day, and then were the consistency kept between all the blocks from 1, 2, 3, all the way 6. As a matter of fact, last Thursday was the last day of Block 6, and congratulations to all who graduated and completed the blocks fully. A quick run-up on the topics that are going to be delivered in each block. As you can see, 2 columns from the left, sports management, concentrates on foundations of sport, sports marketing and sponsorship, digital transformation, sports finance strategy, the venues and the events which are used as within these sports, and of course, last but not least, legal issues in sports management. Each row under the sports management is actually a block. So block 1 to block 6. Moving on to the second column, it's an introduction to major events, and then event planning, the operations of an event, the management, then managing the people during the any kind of event in the events industry, the importance of volunteering, the marketing, the communication, the digital media, and of course, whatever major trend is happening in the event industry. Over to the right side, towards in the gray column, you have the dates. Our first block starts between the 14th and 21 February, and then so on. As you can see, we have one in March, second in March, the third in June, September, October, and our last block would be in the end of November and December.
Thank you, Vasco. And before we move into research again, we are available for more information on the diploma program. There is general information on the website of Josoor. We are also in touch directly with some of the key organizations in Qatar in order to make sure that as many talented people as possible benefit from this really unique program in the run-up to the World Cup. Let me move into the research section. I was wondering if Professor Nicola McCulloch is with us in the session, because I know she had some issues at home. Nicola, are you with us?
I'm here. Yes, thank you, Michaela.
Thank you so much, Nicola, for joining us. It's really nice of you, and I know it's not an easy moment, but I really appreciate your time this morning, and the floor is yours to share some general considerations on Josoor research.
Thank you, Michaela. Thank you for that. Hi, everybody. I work with the team at Josoor as one of their subject matter experts in sports and event management. And it's been an absolute privilege to go through this journey with the team around how we are now really starting to see some momentum and some deliverables around our research output as an institute. But what is also nice is we dovetail this, and this reflects so strongly around the education ethos that we have, and obviously the focus that we have around the sports and event sectors. And what's been really nice to see is how that snowball effect in terms of sport and events across the MENA region has really started to gain momentum now, is that just so we've also aligned our research strategy to do exactly the same. So it's really great to be able to be involved with research projects that so clearly reflect what is happening in the sector and across the industry within Qatar and across the MENA region. So we have different deliverables, we have different projects that we work on across research. We have case studies that are developed, and these are written by academics across the world and professors in lots of different institutions. And again, a lot of the case studies are centered around topics that are prevalent at the time. So the case studies are used for teaching purposes, and we use them across a range of our programs at Josoor. But the plan is that we will have them in the public domain, so that there will be an opportunity for people to learn best practice and learn about what is happening within organisations and also within specific areas of each of the sectors through the case study project that we're running. We've done it for a couple of years now, and again the momentum's really started to grow with that in terms of how we're going to formalise that process next year. So watch this space in terms of having access to those case studies, because it's something that the team feel really, really passionate about, that we do make sure that our knowledge doesn't just sit within an institute, that it does travel and it's projected across the region, but on a more global scale as well. We also have opportunities where we develop special studies, and again these are different industry requirements. So some of these may have a regional focus. They're undertaken through market research. So one of the special studies that we've concentrated on this year has been around event sustainability and the importance of sustainability, not only in a practical sense, in a human-to-human sense. So how do we understand what sustainability is to us as an event consumer, but also understanding the nature of sustainability across the broader sectors and what that looks like across different countries within the MENA region. So it's a really innovative study that is the first of its kind across the region, and again it's something that Josoor has very much wanted to champion. So that's again another exciting development for this year, which again hopefully will be published next year. We also do different surveys, and again these are across the region. So we work across different leadership topics, we work with different industry leaders across different sectors, And again, a lot of these topics dovetail really nicely into not only the special studies that we do, but also the case studies as well. So we try and make sure that there's a clear thematic approach to all of the research that we undertake, whether that is the deliverable of it being a case study or a special study or a survey. The yearly activities, as it says on there, is as is. We generally try and make sure we have a yearly plan that we work towards in terms of our research outputs and the different approaches and different themes that we're going to cover each year. And in terms of the dissemination, as I said, I think what's really important on this slide is to note how we try and make sure that reach is as external as we can make it for the research that is developed, whether that's through our alumni, that is growing significantly year on year now through the different programs and workshops that we have, whether it's through our delegates or our partners that we work with, again through different universities. So, working with a network of professors and academics across a range of universities, it's really quite special that we are developing a network of academics together, that we bring together like-minded people that research maybe in different sectors but come together across different themes, and that's again something that we're gaining momentum for, and we're looking at developing more next year. We also work with industry experts, and again what's really nice from an academic sense is we're not only developing maybe new ideas of working, but we're applying them. And industry are allowing us to do that because of the close relationships that we have with a lot of industry partners. So it's a really, again, unique opportunity where we can develop the research, but then we're also seeing it in practice, which again just validates the different types of research that the Institute are delivering. And again through conferences, looking at how we are starting to develop the brand of Josoor through academic and industry conferences, whether that's through papers, whether that's through workshops or presentations, looking again at the themes that we are covering. It could be around sport diplomacy, it could be around volunteering. That's been something that we've been developing and been working on quite closely this year. And again, amongst the team and working with the network of academics that we have across the world, we start to develop these themes quite early on in the year, so then we know where that's going to take us throughout the rest of the year. So I hope that kind of gives an overview as to where Josoor is at with research. The other, I suppose, addition this year is that we also look to work with students as well, and support students across a range of different projects within different institutions. And again, that's something that's quite new and unique, but also the Josoor team are very keen on seeing the value of how we can integrate and support students as well, and they can also support the research that we're undertaking. So just to ensure again that knowledge transfer is not just done within academic communities, it's also done across student communities as well, so that they're aware of the innovations and the real progression taking place across events and sport in Qatar and across the MENA region. So I hope that helps to kind of give a broad overview of where we are with research. Does that help, Michaela?
Thank you so much, Nicola. And I also like your last point about the students, because this is ultimately a research deck that has to serve the building of human capital in Qatar and the region. So it's about applied research. It's about academic discussion, but it's also about applied research, and it's also about job creation. So it's I think you put it really in the right way. Thank you so much for your presentation.
You're welcome, Michaela. Thank you.
And now moving on briefly to the road ahead, and then we will welcome questions from the audience. I just wanted to share with you some basic points on key areas in which we see Josoor going forward. So in the area of education, we are going to continue to deliver the diploma program in sports and major events management in partnership with the SDA Bocconi School of Management that Vasco described earlier on in the presentation. We are going to intensify the production of online offering in sports and events management for an audience in Qatar, but also beyond. And we believe that's a strategic area of development, and that builds on the opening remarks from our executive director. And we believe it is an opportunity partly dictated by our own strategy and partly dictated by the circumstances. So we very much look forward to 2021 in terms of online delivery while hopefully hoping that our flagship activities will be delivered offline. Then there is the area of training and development. Towards 2022, we are already collaborating with the colleagues in volunteers. We've been delivering together with them volunteers training for some of the tournaments in the run-up to the World Cup. We also look forward to working on gamified simulations in operational readiness. This is something that we hope to put in place in the coming months. And along the same lines, we look forward to working more closely on tourism human capital development. There is a program in which we will be leading in collaboration with our colleagues at host country and with the QNTC, Qatar National Tourism Council. In terms of business development, more in general, HIWAR for us is a platform for building our community of alumni, of friends, of partners, and hopefully also a deck, a platform to facilitate job interaction. So probably the next HIWAR later this winter, in February or March, will be including a structured career fair. And then we are developing a knowledge hub, which I will show you in a few moments. And then we are also working on future spaces of Josoor as a legacy project, which will serve in the run-up to the Football World Cup 2022, but also beyond as part of the 2030 vision for Qatar and the general goal of building human capital for a diversified economy. As I mentioned, the Knowledge Hub, I will give you a short presentation of the Knowledge Hub. Some of you probably saw it already because it is from the Knowledge Hub that you could access the registration page of the HIWAR. Please let me know if you can you see the page of the Knowledge Hub?
Yeah.
Perfect, great. So the Knowledge Hub is a bit of a hybrid between a website that we already have and a hub for people to connect and collaborate on topics of common interest. And this is a pilot project we've been working on over the past few months together with the colleagues in the team at Josoor. And I just wanted to show you the structure of this Knowledge Hub, so to share with you where our line of thinking is. So it is essentially a landing page in which automatically all the social media feeds of Josoor or related to Josoor are shown. So this is being fed automatically. And then as you scroll down, we have some of the key events, some of the key activities that have been happening.
We only see the PowerPoint presentation. We don't see the...
I'm sorry. Let me see if I can. I'm sorry. I thought. Let me see. Shahid, would you be able to share the Knowledge Hub from your screen? Let me stop sharing and just one moment. Here we go. I guess this is the right one. Can you see the page now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So as I was saying, this is the Knowledge Hub. On the top of the page, we have automated social media feeds from social media about Josoor. Then you have all the panel sessions that we regularly organize. And here are the case studies Nicola was mentioning earlier, and continues with other sections with interviews with delegates sharing their experiences, etc. And then we have a few specific sections. One is interviews. Here, for example, you can see recent interviews with Cafu, with John Barnes, who was in one of the sessions earlier this morning. And then you have a section for panel sessions. And then there is a section on case studies. Clearly, this Knowledge Hub is still in a beta version, but we think it is a powerful tool for us to assemble all the relevant content of Josoor nearly in real time. Here are all the case studies. And then gradually to have alumni and contacts and partners of Josoor connected with this Knowledge Hub with their own page, which will be also linked with our internal CRM system. And hopefully this will become a very interactive space to produce and synthesize content and to launch collaborations. So this is something that is quite important to us at the moment and goes together with the strong push we've been trying to give to ourselves in terms of online activities and, more importantly, in our interaction with our community. So thank you very much for having listened to us for the last 20-25 minutes. We hope this has been interesting for you. Thank you very much from all of us, and thank you to all my colleagues who've been part of this presentation. And now you would be most welcome to ask questions either in the chat or by taking the floor. Okay, so I hope there are no questions, because the presentation was quite clear, hopefully. But let me. Okay, good, great. There is one question. Hi, I have a question about using the previous graduates. Do you have any plans for them? So the answer is yes. We will be trying to engage Josoor graduates more. Some of the graduates have been already collaborating with us on specific projects, but for example, as the World Cup gets closer, the media communication team of Supreme Committees is interested more and more in personal stories. So one way for us to engage the graduates would be to have them share their stories with us and with our colleagues, so that they can be featured in the media. And then there would be probably opportunities to collaborate with us on projects of interest to both of us, to Josoor as part of its development, and to graduates as part of the natural affiliation and collaboration with the the institute at which they studied. So please stay tuned on that. Thank you, Osama, for your question. Then there is another question I would like Vasco to address. Can you tell us more about operational readiness training?
Yes, thank you. That's a very good question. Just in a nutshell, the operational readiness training, I mean, the name really is about readiness, and it's about actually providing an advanced kind of practical simulation trainings to all the staff, which are going to be directly related within the stadium, within the operations of the stadium, within the tournament operations, meaning safety, security, meaning logistics, the food and beverage, the volunteers working, the whole task force, which is responsible for the delivery of a successful stadium management of all the stadiums, of all the 8 stadiums. So Josoor Institute is happy to partner up with the SC in terms of specific trainings of these staff within the stadiums via tabletops, via practical simulation, and yeah, so it's more or less gives you an idea.
Another question is about the scholarship. Vasco, would you like to jump in?
Of course, there are scholarships. There are level of scholarships that the Josoor Institute is happy to provide, and we do follow a matrix of scholarships. So it depends, of course, on the necessity and requirement of any student or individual who would like the scholarship, and that is done on a more, let's say, on a one-to-one conversation with the delegate himself or herself when they kind of approach us, and the conversation, of course, is through the email at delegate@josoorinstitute.qa, and of course we pick it up. There's a certain procedure, but yes, scholarships, in a short answer, there are scholarships.
Thank you, Vasco. And what is important also to mention is that in any case, people have to apply, because it is by applying that you show your interest in the program before you ask for a scholarship. For us, the idea is to really create a network of alumni and professionals. So the more interesting the candidates are, the more there is an incentive also for us to have a dialogue with them in terms of supporting their studies. Thank you. Is there any other question? Otherwise, I would hand it over to you, Vasco, for some closing remarks.
No more questions. Yeah, just wanted to also give a last update about the Josoor HIWAR, which are really, it's about today and tomorrow, and we really encourage. It's kind of a closure of what Josoor has been really gone through in the past year, with our staff, with our new kind of approach, what we have really gone through this year, and what's really coming next in the pipeline for next year. 2021 is a very exciting year. It's actually a preparation year for 2022. So I believe a lot of, at least the Josoor staff have felt this year have passed very easily and fast. Well, stick around and see how fast is it going to be next year. I really enjoyed my session throughout the day today. I hope you all did the same way, and I'm looking forward to see you all tomorrow again. We start 9 sharp tomorrow on our day 2 of Josoor HIWAR.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and see you tomorrow.